My wife texted, "Take care of the baby, I'm off with friends." What I found next broke me. The message came just as I was rocking our 6-month-old daughter to sleep. "Take care of the baby, I'm off with friends, red heart." I stared at it longer than I should have, the soft glow of the screen lighting the dark nursery. I could hear the faint rhythm of the rain outside, the clock ticking beside me, the gentle coos of Emma as she drifted between wake and sleep. Everything about the moment was ordinary, except the hollow feeling that crawled up my chest. It wasn't the text itself. My wife, Claire, had gone out plenty of times with her friends since Emma's birth. She deserved it. God knows new mothers need a break. But tonight something felt off. She'd been quiet all day, distant, snapping at small things. And when I'd asked if everything was okay, she'd brushed it off with a half-smile. "Just tired," she'd said, tying her hair up before heading to the shower. But her eyes, they didn't match her voice. Now, standing there in the dim nursery, phone in one hand and our baby in the other, that uneasy feeling rooted deeper. I texted back, "Have fun. Don't stay out too late." No reply. By 10:30 p.m., the house was silent except for the rain. I'd finished cleaning the bottles, folded a load of laundry, and sat staring at the muted TV. Claire was supposed to have left around 7. She usually sent a picture or at least a text when she got to the cafe or bar. But there was nothing, no location share, no updates. I tried calling once. Rang. Then voicemail. I told myself not to overthink. She was out with friends. Maybe bad signal. Maybe she'd left her phone in her bag. Still, the thought lingered. She used to text me constantly. Even before we had Emma. Especially before. I scrolled through our old messages. Hundreds of little things. "Miss you. Don't forget dinner tonight. I love you more than anything." Somewhere along the way, those messages had become one-liners, then emojis, then silence. I didn't notice it happening. That's the worst part. At 11:47, the baby monitor flickered. Emma stirred, crying softly. I went in, soothed her back to sleep. When I returned, my phone buzzed. Message. From Claire. But it wasn't words, it was a photo. A blurry image taken in what looked like a bar. Table, 2 drinks, dim lighting. No caption. First I thought she sent it by mistake. Then, just beneath the edge of the photo, I noticed a reflection in the glass. The curve of a man's arm, a watch I didn't recognize, and the unmistakable way her hand rested against his wrist. My stomach dropped. I zoomed in, my pulse hammering in my ears. The skin tone, the faint scar on her thumb. It was her hand. I couldn't breathe. I called her again. Straight to voicemail. I messaged, "Claire, where are you? Who are you with?" No reply. I wanted to believe it was nothing. A misunderstanding. Maybe one of her friend's boyfriends. Maybe the angle was weird. Maybe I was just being paranoid. But my gut, it knew. Because this wasn't the first time suspicion had flickered like this. There had been small things. The perfume she didn't used to wear. The sudden late-night work calls. The way she started locking her phone. I'd buried it all. 'Cause I wanted to believe in us. In the woman who held my hand during Emma's birth. The woman who cried when we brought our daughter home. At midnight, the storm got heavier. I grabbed my keys and jacket, heart pounding like I was doing something wrong. I drove to the bar near her friend's house, the one she always mentioned. The streets were slick, headlights blurring across the windshield. When I pulled into the parking lot, I spotted her car immediately. The silver Honda Civic with a baby seat in the back. She was here. I parked a few spaces away, rain drumming against the roof, breath fogging the glass. I didn't know what I was going to do. Confront her? Wait. Call again. Then I saw them. Through the window of the bar. Claire, sitting close beside a man in a gray jacket. His hand covering hers on the table. Her laugh, that soft, familiar laugh, drifted even through the glass when she tilted her head back. She looked happy. Effortlessly, painfully happy. The kind of happy I hadn't seen in months. My chest tightened until I thought I'd break. I wanted to look away, to unsee it. But I couldn't. I watched as he leaned in, said something that made her smile in a way she hadn't smiled at me in a long time. Then she reached across, brushing his cheek with her fingers. And that was it. The quiet confirmation of everything I'd tried not to believe. I don't remember driving home. I only remember the numbness. The road ahead felt endless, the wipers keeping time with the sound of my heartbeat. When I got home, Emma was still asleep, peaceful and unaware of the storm raging inside her father. I sat on the couch, phone in hand, staring at that one photo, the small, blurry image that shattered everything. I typed and deleted a dozen messages. I didn't want to explode. I didn't want to beg. So I wrote only one line. Come home when you're ready to tell me the truth. Then I turned off my phone. She came home around 2 a.m. I heard the door open softly, her steps cautious. She must have seen the lights still on in the living room. Hey, she said, voice trembling slightly. Her hair was damp from the rain. You're still up? I didn't answer. Just looked at her. She hesitated, setting down her purse. I was with friends, like I said. I let the silence stretch until she shifted uncomfortably. Then I said, which friend wears a gray jacket and a black leather watch? Her face drained of color. What? The man you were with. I saw you, Claire. For a moment, her lips parted like she might deny it. Then her shoulders sagged. The tears came fast, not loud but quiet, broken ones. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispered. It's complicated. I laughed, a sound that didn't feel like mine. Complicated. You're married. We have a child asleep upstairs. What's complicated about that? I'm sorry, she cried, hands trembling. I felt invisible. After Emma, everything changed. I was drowning. I stared at her, the anger and heartbreak colliding in a way I couldn't control. So you found someone else to notice you. She covered her face, sobbing. I never wanted to hurt you. I wanted to yell, to throw something, to ask every why in the world, but instead I just sat there quiet, exhausted. Because the truth didn't need words. It was already written in her tears, in the photo, in the ache between us. She slept in the guest room that night. Or tried to. I lay awake listening to the rain ease into silence. Every creak of the house felt louder than it should. In the morning, Emma's cries woke me. Claire came out, eyes swollen, and reached for her instinctively. But I stopped her. I've got her, I said. My voice cracked more than I wanted it to. Claire froze. The look on her face, guilt, love, regret, all tangled together, will stay with me forever. The days that followed were a blur of half conversations and heavy silences. She confessed everything eventually. That it had started months ago, that it wasn't physical at first, that she'd convinced herself it didn't mean anything. But it did. Because betrayal isn't just in the act. It's in the lies, the secrecy, the moments you choose someone else over the person who trusted you most. It's been 3 months since that night. Claire moved into her sister's place. We take turns caring for Emma. When she drops her off, she never stays long. There's still love somewhere, buried under the rubble, but it's not the same kind anymore. Sometimes late at night I still open that photo. Not because I enjoy the pain, but because it reminds me of the truth I once ignored. That love dies slowly, in quiet neglect, long before the final blow. And every time Emma smiles at me, I tell myself I'll teach her something better. That love should never come with secrets. That one small lie can unravel everything. That you don't just lose trust. You destroy it piece by piece, until there's nothing left but the echo of what could have been.